Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, Monday, October 19th. Hope everybody had a good weekend, enjoyed the baseball games, football games, hockey games, anything else that you're into. We did have three trades, pulled out 9.7 pips on a size-adjusted basis. On a non-size-adjusted basis, it was about 70 pips. One swing, two scalps. We're still in one swing, and we're still in a couple of scalps. First, just want to talk about the economic news this morning. We did get National Association of Home Builders at 10 a.m. this morning, which were actually came out a little bit better than expected, and they came out better than expected on the hope, put that in quotation marks, on the hope of future sales by the home builders. So, and it was only slightly better. But the funny thing about the National Association of Home Builders, it was spiking up on the hope of future sales just prior to the financial crisis. So you shouldn't put too much weight in that in the guidance of home builders. It's almost like they don't know their business well enough. Home sales, whether they're new or existing, have been terrible lately in the last few months. Just announced a week or two ago was existing home sales was horrible, and here we have the home builders beating estimates, highest number in 10 years, as a matter of fact, but on the hopes that they're going to be able to sell the homes. So it's really comical if you think about it, and it's even more comical when their indication, their index, or whatever you want to call it, was spiking just prior to the financial crisis. That was just prior to the greatest financial crisis and greatest recession since the Great Depression. Some people have called it a depression. It's not that you hate to say it's comical, but it really is that they can't guide their own industry better than that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. He says that the United States is going to run out of cash by November 3rd. So you're looking at 2 weeks. Obviously, this is it's political jockeying between the Democrats and Republicans, and we all know that. And they'll most likely raise the debt ceiling, or they'll figure something out. They'll bring it down to the last minute, as they always do. But with his statements today saying that they're going to run out of cash by November 3rd, T-bills, short-term T-bills, so T-bills that mature next month, their yield spiked by 6 basis points, went from a yield of one. Actually, I'm wrong. They spiked 8 basis points. They went from a yield of a negative 1 basis points to 7 basis points. So people were buying them and getting a negative return on their capital just last week. And with his comments, people were selling them like crazy, making the yields pop. So now, if anyone buys it, they're getting 0.7% on an annualized basis for a piece of paper that matures November 18th. So basically a month from now. I just want to point out of his comments on what he was doing to the bond market and how bond traders were actually fleeing the short-term paper. I don't think anything will come of it, though. I think that, like I said, I think it's going to be a jockeying of political issues back and forth, and they'll figure something out probably by midnight on the 2nd, or midnight of November 3rd. Okay, let's get to it. So the three trades pulled out 9.7 on a size-adjusted basis. First trade you're looking at here is Euro to the Aussie. This was a swing trade that we were short from 1.55995 last week. I believe it was last Friday. Held it through all this. We were risking much more than this, even though this was a 100-pip move. We're risking much more than that. We're risking upwards of 250 pips. That's the average true range. What Euro Aussie over the past 4 weeks the daily range that it has is about 250 pips. So we were risking a lot more. Therefore, we only had 10% of our normal size. And we actually had a bid in here to cover this thing at the half figure while we were sleeping overnight, and we ended up getting hit overnight, picking up 49.9 pips, or size adjusted 4.9. Unfortunately, you know, because if we were seeing it coming in this hard, you know, we could have maybe looked for it to come closer to the figure, which is exactly what it did. Look, it came to the figure, almost touched it to exact number, and then bounced. That's just a psychological level. If anyone's still short this, I think this thing could easily come in more. If it breaks this 1.55 number, you know, you're going to see it move down pretty quickly. But we took our 49.9 pips, or 4.9 on a size adjusted basis. Pound yen, this was a scalp that we had 20% of our normal size. We were long this from 184.767. We pieced it out in thirds. This was our average price, 184.858, picking up 9.1 pips, or a size adjusted 1.8 pips. Thought the last piece we ended up breaking even on the last third. Really thought once it got through this 185, it was going to hover closer to 185 and then make a break higher. It still may if you're long it, but we got stopped out of our last third at break even, unfortunately, because I really think that this thing's going to run. And if it does, we'll be leaving some on the table there. But you know, we have our strategy and our plan, and we stick to it. Euro US dollar, we were short this for a scalp. We had 30% of our normal size, 1.13279. I went against this a little bit, but not that much. You know, you're talking, you know, 13, 14, 15 pips, and then started to come in, and we started piecing out. Same thing here on our last third. We were piecing out in thirds. Our last third, we got we got out of the last third at break even. Thought it was going to come in harder. I thought it was going to approach the figure of 1.13. Figured it would approach that, kind of hover between that, maybe 1.1315, 1.1320, and then eventually break down. It still may, but again, we had our stop on our last third at break even, and we got hit. So we'll take it. We'll take the 3 pips and we'll run. So 9.7 on a size adjusted basis, about 70 on a non-size adjusted basis, and that's it. So if you're still trading now, good luck. If any signals come out later throughout the day, we'll be sending them to you. And like I said, if you're still trading now, good luck and have a great rest of your day. We'll do another video tomorrow, assuming we get we liquidate some trades either tonight or tomorrow or sometime today, and we get some more trades. All right, have a great day.